Hey guys, it's Mike Proctor, Sales Manager, Whissel Realty Group. Just wanted to put a video together. We've gotten a lot of feedback about objection handling, and it's something that we spend a lot of time role-playing and reviewing here in the office. So we wanted to put a couple objection handlers together and see if we can give you a hand on something. One of the most common objections that we get, especially when we're talking about signing listings, because listings are king, is commission objections. Okay, so this is one of the more common objections that we see in listing presentations. Hey, so-and-so said they can do it for 1% less than you can do it. So instead of just dropping and going, okay, well, I'll do it there and we'll sign the listing, this is a little bit more accurate depiction of how I would handle this objection to try to get the listing signed at the appropriate list percentage. All right, so we'll just go into role play. All right, so based on all of that, are you ready to sign the listing with me today? No. Okay. If you don't mind me asking, why not? Oh, that makes a lot of sense. If they said they could do it for 1% less, I get where you're coming from. So just so I can understand a little bit more completely, the objective of paying 1% less, are you trying to make more money from the sale of your home, or do you just want to pay less in commission? Make more from the sale of your home. Okay, perfect. It's nice to know we're on the same page, because the only reason I'm sitting here is to make you the most on the sale of your home. So it's awesome. Now, I'm sure you would agree that anybody and everybody can say whatever they want about themselves in terms of like, I'm the best realtor, I'm the best this, I do the best at that. But what it really comes down to, and where we really weigh against one another in terms of realtors, it comes down to the sales versus list ratio. In other words, I can list your home for whatever I want, but at the end of the day, what did I actually sell your home for? The best part about this is the Association of Realtors here tracks and measures all of this data for us. So when we reviewed this information, because we do this every month, what we found was that on average, our team, our sales to list ratio, we close homes at 2% higher of a sales price than the average agent. So what that means to you is even with their discounted commission, by choosing us, you're still going to make more money at the end of the day. So with that being said, would you say that the marketing that we provide is what you were looking for? Yeah? Okay. The sales price, would you say that we agreed upon that? Perfect. And now knowing what you know about our ability to get 2% more for that sales price than the average agent, would you say that we're going to be able to get you the most in net at the end of the sale? Wonderful. So our marketing's what you want, the sales price is where you want it, and you know that we're going to net you the most money. The only step to do now would be sign the listing. So that's just a cursory overview of how I would overcome that objection. Now, there's a couple things that I would ask that you keep in mind when you get an objection from a client, because it's so easy to combat objections. But what we need to understand is that an objection is them telling us that they want to work with us, but they need some clarification. They need help understanding why we are their best choice. So we never want to argue, because even if you win the argument, you're probably not going to win the listing. So if you notice, the first thing that I did is I acknowledged their objection. Oh, that makes sense. I see where you're coming from, because that brings their defenses down. I don't want to go immediately into overcoming the objection, because now we're arguing. Now it's them versus me, and we don't want that. I want to acknowledge their objection. I want to even make them feel like they're right. Oh, totally see where you're coming from. So that's going to bring their defenses down. And it's going to make them much more open to what I have to say next. Now here's the best part. The next part of my overcoming their objection is I ask a question that I already know the answer to. They're not trying to just pay the least amount in commission. I know that. They're trying to make the most off selling their home, and in their mind, they only do that if they pay less in commission. They're not factoring in the marketing, the aggressiveness of the agent, the ability of the agent. That, to them, we're all the same. So I need them to identify, this isn't about paying less for commission, this is about making more for their home. And I need them to say it, not me. I'm asking a question. Once they have said it, now they can't argue with themselves. So now I'm going to utilize their answer in order to set up my close. I hope this was really helpful for you, and get your numbers down and then put this together and use this in your next listing presentation. Best of luck. Is that okay?